Hey y'all, it's your girl, Davina Cherie, and this is How to Egypt, Part 1, Cairo edition. So, as you can see, it's early as fuck in the morning. Like, I had to get to New York from Philadelphia. So, it was a commute before I even got to my departure plane in JFK. As you can see, it was about maybe 4 o'clock in the morning. This train I had was a 5 o'clock train, I believe, to get me to JFK around 7:30 ish, and my flight was around 9 something, 10 o'clock. So yeah, it's still dark outside. As you can see, it was just early as fuck. So I took an Uber to 30th Street Station, as you can see here. Yes, perfect. Thank you. Good old 30th Street Station in Philadelphia. So, this guy sitting next to me was a whole vibe. He just put his mask on his head because that was the vibe. It was like way too early, like 4 or 5 o'clock on what, Thursday, Wednesday, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So these are my bags. I had to try to pack light. You have to check your flight restrictions. I would rather be safe than sorry. You know, if you have too much stuff and you can't reorganize it, then you just have to leave your luggage. So that sucks. So we arrived at the Penn Station, train station in Manhattan, New York. As you can see, it was actually really crowded, but I didn't capture all that because who got time? I had bags and stuff in my hand. But now I made it to JFK, took the air tran and all that good crap. So it was about 3 trains I took. Yeah, finally got to JFK to catch my flight on Qatar Airlines to Doha, which was the layover before I got to Egypt. I was headed to Qatar, which is right next to Dubai. It's a very similar vibe, rich oil money. Like that airport, actually in Doha, Qatar, is rated the best airport in the world this year, one of the best. So yeah. And I will make sure to show some footage of the Doha airport that was rated one of the best in the world this year. I was trying to save my storage before I got to Egypt, so I didn't capture all that until I was on my way home, basically. But yeah, so now we're off. Just left JFK and on our way to Doha. So I did come to learn after the fact, in most international flights that are this long, this flight was about uh, 13 hours. So most international flights, of course, they're going to feed you. So they kept giving us food. It was like so much food. But more importantly, they have alcohol, endless, beer, alcohol, wine. This flight had vodka. It was lit, whiskey. So yeah, make sure you get that, all of the everything that you pay for. You want to get your money's worth. So boom, now I am on layover in Doha, and here at time, it's like we're chasing the sun. We're headed east. The sun rises in the east, so it's like forever daylight. It felt like. Because by the time I got here in Doha, Qatar, as you can see, it's beautiful. Nice sunny morning. It was like nighttime back home. So definitely you have to think about the time adjustment, jet lag. Like I try to stay awake for the better half of the flight, because I know it's going to be the opposite time zone when I land. So that's just something to keep in mind. 12-hour flight down. Another 3-hour flight. So I'm not going to hold y'all. I was tired as fuck. So tired. But I knew it was going to be worth it in the end. So here we are in Qatar, Doha. This airport is gorgeous. And again, I'll show more footage of it at the end of part 3 video. So make sure you're watching. This is just part 1. There's going to be part 2 and part 3. Yeah, the Doha airport, as you can see, is just gorgeous. Okay, so now I'm in foreign territory, so even the food starts to change. But let me tell you about these big pretzels, baby. If you get them, stack up. All right, so in Doha, I did meet my part of my group, the people that were on the same flight as me from JFK or Maryland. So this is our group. It's called Worst Behavior Tour.
What's my man?
We found each other on Facebook. We added this private Facebook group. And they travel and just do fun stuff together, Freakniks in Jamaica, stuff like that. So this is Jesse and Brandon, and we were on the same flight. So we linked up in Doha, and me and Brandon was lit. We actually sat right next to each other on the plane, and he had me lit, like drinks, like he was challenging me to keep drinking. So we was pretty lit by the time we landed here in Egypt, and now we are in Cairo, headed to our hotel.
Welcome to Egypt.
So let me tell you how they did my man so dirty. I don't know what was going on. They didn't have like dogs or anything to smell like, you know, contraband or whatever. But they was really checking my man's bag like crazy. And I just was like, thought it was messed up. Because I'm like, wow, I thought we were all black and African at the end of the day. But racism is still prevalent because they let so many people just walk past and didn't even check anybody else's bags like they did my man's. And he still got through with his little bit of marijuana, but I'm gonna say less. So it was like they did all that for nothing. But anyway, boom, we make it here to our hotel, and it was so gorgeous. They're setting up for a wedding there, but it was so beautiful. You could see the pyramids from our hotel. When I tell you, it was so amazing to wake up to this view every morning. So, just to give you a brief history on this hotel, it's called the Marriott Minna, and it's in Giza, well, right by the Giza pyramids, obviously. And it's historical, like legendary. So many movies from the 1800s to today have been shot there. So many celebrities have stayed at this hotel. This room was gorgeous. As you can see, the rainforest shower, everything was just immaculate. And I loved how dark the entrance was with the dark wood. The views were great, and yeah, very clean, great housekeeping and upkeep. All right, so one thing again that I loved in the morning was coming out down the steps to see the pyramids. I was practicing my angles and the photo shoots I wanted to do later on in the trip. But again, this facility, I mean, this building is just architecturally, like, it's just designed beautifully. So as you just previously heard, of course, the main language in Egypt, Cairo, is Arabic, and it is a predominantly Islamic Muslim country. So, you know, just be aware of how you dress in public, and, you know, try to cover up from, you know, your knees up. And, you know, you gotta just kind of know when and how to dress. for certain occasions, like going to the temples and things like that. But now it's dinner time. We deep. Hungry, bunch of hungry black folk. It was the Philly cheesesteak on the menu for me. But most of the time when I'm like outside of Philly, I don't really order Philly cheesesteak, anything. So, but it was nice to know it was on the menu. Group picture time. So yeah, this was a gorgeous place. We sat upstairs by the pool, and it was just great to just get to know our group members the first night. Okay, so breakfast. You can pay to have breakfast included. However, I know people who never paid. It was just a matter of who was working, I guess, that day in the breakfast buffet. Because sometimes they wouldn't ask you at all for your room number. Sometimes they would. So I think I paid like the first time. And then after that, no one asked me and I never paid for breakfast. So, yeah. Gonna go see the pyramids up close and personal today. Can't wait. So as I mentioned before, my storage was limited. I did have an iPhone at the time. Actually, I have just upgraded to the next iPhone now because of this trip. One thing I'm gonna do is take my pictures, baby. So yeah, make sure you keep that in mind for when you come to Egypt. It's gonna be a lot of pictures taken. So when we arrived outside of the pyramids, it was pretty poppin'. Our group was like the biggest group with like all black people. This is Kitty Roberts. She actually created this travel group. They go to the Philippines. They're actually in the Philippines right now. All over the world travel group. So our group was always like the American group. They thought we had money and people would like ask us to buy things, and they will hassle you really hard. So just be aware. Just ignore people like because they won't stop trying to get your money. So, I mean, yeah, I don't really have to say much about the pyramids, right? They are gorgeous. So you have the option of going to the entrance of the tomb. Basically, they have steps, and you walk up the step, and then you walk right back down the step. That's free of charge, and you can go inside of the tomb. There is a fee you need to pay at the front when you get your initial ticket to enter. So just make sure you grab that if you're going to see the tomb inside of the tomb. Can y'all tell I was happy? Oh, it was just so amazing just to be back in Africa, number one. And not just in Africa, back where I'm from originally. My people were taken from here, but also to just be at the biggest pyramid in Egypt, the Pyramid of Giza. And so, as you can see, I did dress appropriately for this. It's blazing hot, so the purpose of the sun, I mean the scarf, is really just to block the sun from like my neck and shoulders. And I totally understand it. I get it now. Why they dress like they do in the desert. Like it is blazing hot. So I also was going to be doing a lot of things in the desert on this day. So we were like riding camels, and then we went to go see the Sphinx. That was like around the corner, basically. So definitely, wearing what I wore were like overalls and just trying to be like as cool as possible, but still covered up. And it was so funny because this guy like fixed my turban and stuff and did it like the Egyptian way. It was very cool.
Giza. In the left side over there, we're gonna see the small Queen's pyramids.
Me and the homie, you know what I'm saying? Me and the homies. Yes. I'm trying to get him because it's like real close up, like right here. Okay, so full disclosure, on in all honesty, this was probably the least favorite part for me. Actually, riding the camel, it wasn't giving what I needed it to give as far as like the support I needed to feel secure on the seat. So, like one side had my foot a foot holster, but then there was no foot holster on the other side. So it just felt like I was like on a gangster lean the whole time. It was just like, ugh, not my favorite part. But great views of all the pyramids together.
First one is called Ancient Egyptian Period. Second period is called Greek and Roman Period.
And finally we made it to the Sphinx.
Coptic and the Christian Period. Fourth one is called Islamic Period, Islamic country. Last one we have is called the New Egypt. So we are now in the pyramids area. It dates back in ancient time to all the kingdom. Because in ancient time it was said to dynasty.
So before you walk into like the temple area where the Sphinx is located, there's plenty of vendors and shops. Again, just be, conscious of your money spending because they're always gonna, you have to barter with them for sure. So the price they give you is usually not the final price. So, if you've traveled, you're pretty used to that. You gotta barter. But the temple was nice. It's right before the Sphinx, and then you walk through this passage to get to the Sphinx, and it's like it opens up. Everything just is gorgeous.
I've been diving 35 years. And
Okay guys, now I'm going to explain to you why we are here. Here we're going to be from the office space.
So, like I said, remember, you're just going to be wanting to take so many pictures. Make sure you got that good storage. As you can see here, I got my poses and everything that I wanted to get. Yeah, the Sphinx was definitely a sight to see and behold. So you want to make sure you get your pictures. Next off, we headed to a papyrus place, and they show us how to make paper and how paper was like, well, Africans created paper, basically. So this is an authentic papyrus shop that we went to. They gave us hibiscus tea. It was really nice. Then we headed off to a lunch at a local restaurant. Our tour guide's name was Brown Sugar Babe. You could literally Google Egyptian tours by Brown Sugar Babe. Like, he has trademarked himself. And he took us to this local spot. It was really delicious. Maybe one of the best meals I had. So as I mentioned before, they were setting up for a wedding. It looked like a damn festival though. Like the way they were really making this wedding, like it's a big deal. I guess if you can have your wedding at the pyramids, right? Of course. That view is amazing. So yeah, we were like, as soon as we got back, we all were like, oh, let's wedding crash tonight, because how much fun would that be? So we were all like looking out and watching this wedding to like see if we could wedding crash later on that night. Of course, my mom would send me random pictures of my daughter, so that helped me also get through, because I was missing my baby a little bit throughout the trip. But so yeah, it was definitely pool time. After being in that hot ass desert all day, we was like, yeah, let's get in this damn pool. Where is it at? What's up? What's up with it? So yeah, we headed to the pool, and again, the wedding, they set up this beautiful wedding, and we were able to actually, from the pool, watch people walk into this wedding, and it was like crazy because they had hills on, and I'm thinking like, all right, this pool is wet, so it was definitely interesting to watch people walk into this wedding. But yeah. Ready to get in this here water. Waiting all day for this one. So something that was amazing was that no matter where we were in Egypt, they would do daily prayer, and they would, blast it on the microphone so it could be heard for miles. So that was interesting. That the wedding stopped actually just for daily prayer. That was amazing. So we are definitely crashing this wedding tonight. Yeah. Aww.
She was just shaking her head.
Oh, they done turned the music off. It's I am cracking up. First of all, sis got a whole pajamas on. Okay. It was so funny because as we were in the pool, we were right outside of the wedding entrance, and these guys were like watching us, and they were trying to act like incognito, but we clearly could tell they were watching us. So I tried to cover up, like even in the pool, to be conscious of it. How beautiful is that? She said start over. Hey. Oh. Okay. Hey. So one thing Americans are gonna drink. It wasn't really a priority, you could tell, at this hotel. Well, just all over Egypt, like having liquor at restaurants is just not a thing sometimes. So we had to pay out of pocket for that. Just be aware, if you stay here, it's not all inclusive. Hey. All in all, it was a great first full day in Egypt for all of us. We really bonded at this dinner and at the pool. So I was glad to meet everybody. Man, it was just a great experience. Pyramids are beautiful. And I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to go with. Worst behavior. We on our worst behavior.